Okay, so this is the next in a series of short videos for my students who are looking at playing in open G tuning. Video 1 was how to tune your guitar into open G. Video 2 covered all the basic chords in the major positions from A through to G. So you need to have learned them because if you don't know them, you can't really build. So you need to know that that's C, and that's C there, and that's D, and this is D, etc. And the last one I left you with on that video was a G chord with an added D. Okay, I'll just expand on that and give you one other, and that's a G note added into that. So if that's a D note that we're adding in, remember, B, C, C sharp, D into your G chord. Okay, if I use my third finger and add this note, string 4, fret 5, that's actually a G note, trace it up and you'll find it's a G, then I get this lovely sound. Okay, and you can mess around with your chords by adding notes in simply by thinking of what the notes are on your strings. And obviously, a G chord, you can add a G into it. And this is basically now from low to high, G, 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 D, D, just G's and D's. And it sounds really rich and harmonic there. Nice. Okay, so let's just look at the minor chords that we can do now in this video before we move on and let's do some playing. So our minor chords are formed, let's take A as our basis. A we know is barred at the 2nd fret because open it's G, so if we bar at the 2nd fret we'll have an A. And the way you make a minor in this tuning is basically to take this note backwards a semitone and leave the other 3 at the 2nd fret. Now that means I've got 3 fingers there, so I can use 3 fingers on those 3 notes. String 3, string 4, string 5. And I have A minor. Notice I'm not playing the top string. I can put that in, it will work, but I'm not going to leave it out. I'm just going to go from 5, 4, 3 and 2. So it's a small chord really. If I move that up, I can go to B minor there. And obviously it's B minor because that's A minor. Move up 2 frets, 1 fret, 2 frets, it's B minor. Okay, and I want you to learn A minor. I want you to learn B minor. I want you to learn where C minor is. Now remember C minor, so use the dots. We know that's C, so if we barred there it would be C, and if we drop that note backwards it will be C minor. So there's your C minor. We're looking at putting these fingers at the dotted fret, fret 5, and D minor will be done by putting these fingers there like so. Now as you get up the neck it gets tighter, so when I get to a D minor, and maybe even on the other chords to be honest, the width of my fingers allows me to use 2 fingers, these 2 fingers here, these 2, to actually hold down 3 strings. So if I hold down, like I showed you before, what I can actually do is use those 2 fingers to hold down those 3 strings and get that. Now to me that's easier to do. I'm using finger 2 and 3 to hold down strings 5, 4 and 3. And in actuality, finger 2 is holding strings 5 and 4, and then finger 3 comes in on string 3. So I can have A minor, B minor, C minor, D minor, and E minor. Relatively easy. Now you might need to do it with 3 fingers, but try it with 2 because it's easier for me to do in 2. But I'd like you to learn those up the neck. A minor, B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor. And they're all just played on 4 strings, 5, 4, 3 and 2. We can also do E minor here in the open position. And it's a funny shaped chord because what we're going to have to do is hold down that note, which will be E, because remember you got D there, D, D sharp, E. And our normal E minor would be there, but these 2 strings have been dropped a whole tone. So the 2 notes that you would hold there in standard tuning to make E minor have now migrated to there. So you've got to hold those down. I'm going to use fingers 3 and 4 to hold them. I'm going to use finger 1 to hold down the bass string. And I get this. This finger's doing nothing. I can even put that in. But I'll just play it over 6, 5, 4, 3. And that's E minor. Okay, so you need to learn those in addition to your open chords, because then you can do a G, or a G, or a G. You can do a C, or a C, And you can do an E minor. Or you can do an E minor. Okay, so learn those, and then when we come to our next video, I'll show you how to put the chords together in different ways, and we'll be working towards playing slide guitar. So have fun, but learn those chords. You do need to learn them before we progress any further.